Hello, 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 and welcome to the Get Caught Up podcast. I am your host, Untamed. Of course, as my girl Aubrey Penn said, she said, big yourself up. So, yes, I'm author, film producer, and podcaster, and wearer of many other hats.
And a
And
writing ass scallywag.
I write ass got look, I gotta add that to my
You
name.
gotta add that to your thing from
I
Mrs. Roney.
Miss Roni. Okay, the right now scallywag. Okay, that's what she
hmm
called me.
I had to add that in. Sorry, go back.
You fine. So now, from now on, I'm introduce myself as I'm the right now scallywag. Thank you, Miss Roni.
hmm
I appreciate that title to everyone. But yes, and of course, I am joined by the lovely host, Miss Crystal Books and Soul, award nominated, my award winner, of course, of
Oh,
all
thank
time,
you.
Books and Soul blogger, reviewer, and soon to be authoress.
I know. It's closer
How,
than I thought. But hey, you
yes.
guys.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm definitely doing great. I'm working on something right now and I'm so excited to do this. It's great to read work from authors and reading about the characters and getting to know them, but to develop the characters, that is something totally different. Like, you can make them the best thing in the world, or you can make them whatever you want, and right now I'm loving that part.
That is the best. Yes, there's so much joy in the creativity of writing. I always tell people that's the fun part. Like sometimes as authors, we get a little frustrated with the writing part, and I'm like, wait till you get to the business side of it. I was like,
Right,
and
that's
you would love to write, and that makes
yes, definitely. And then you know what, I think I'm gonna have to write one of my characters, make them a right that scallywag like you.
oh, please
Mwah.
do, please do.
I actually
Put
have
me,
one in
tag me in,
mind.
coach. Tag me in, coach. I want to be in
Tag,
a book.
tag you it.
Tag
You
me
are
in.
it.
Tag me in, coach. I want to be in a book.
Yes, yes. I'm always
Listen.
shooting my shot. So hey, now let me start pulling people. I like so many things I had to tell my people at work. I was like, oh yeah, I use your name. They was like, for what? I said, oh, you a character in my book. They was like, oh, really? I'm like, just your name, not you in general, just your name.
Cause they're gonna get that book and be like, let me see.
hmm Yep.
Look, I would too. And it's so funny because I've had that happen. Like people read books of mine and they're like, was you talking about me? And I'm like, did you think I was?
I mean, if I was, I was.
And they just like, I always leave it with them like, did you think I was? Because they don't really know how to answer that question. Like, they want to say no, but then they kind of be like, well, what if I say yes and she agrees? So it always kind of
Mhm.
hangs in the air. And I just laugh
Got you.
because I never tell it. I never tell it. But
I
I'm
never
just
tell
kind
you.
of like, I tell them myself before I tell them somebody else.
Right.
I will. But yes, oh my goodness. I don't know. It's like we were just on 2 weeks ago, but I don't know. I feel like this couple of weeks that we have been waiting, it's felt like a month or so to me. I don't know why.
I
Maybe
thought
because
it
I've
was
been so
just
busy.
me. Yes. I thought it was just me. They were saying at work, they was like, this month is going by fast. I was like, no, it's not. We're still in August. Like,
Like
no.
I swear to God, in July, when we were in July at this point, like it was already August 1st. I swear to God,
Right.
I swear
Yep.
I know whatever, but I'm gonna be grateful that August is moving slow because we complain so much about the year moving fast that I'm gonna appreciate the slow months. So,
I agree. I agree. But I wish it hurry up.
yeah. I wish you hurry up.
But I wish it
I
hurry up.
appreciate I appreciate the slow butt. So hey, let's just enjoy it while it lasts. Cause once September hits, child, please, it's gonna be January 1st.
Right.
So I am going to go ahead and do as I always do and get our particulars out of the way because I gotta show love to our sponsors and our supporters. And of course, we are presented by Untamed Publishing. Allow us to help you unlock your unlimited writing potential If you are an aspiring, a new, or even a seasoned author and you need help along your literary journey, please visit www.untamedpublishing.net. There are a plethora of services available for your author and literary journey. Please visit there on the Books and More Store tab, and you will see the different services offered. That is also where you will go to sign up for author interviews, which are closed for the 2023 year. We will not have any spots open until 2024. So we thank you, but and we know that there are people who are still vying to get in. And if the opportunity does arise, you will receive a call back, but unfortunately, as of right now, all slots are booked solid for the remainder of the
Sorry.
year. So sorry, sorry, sorry. Catch us in 2024. I'm trying to tell you, be quick on your trigger finger.
You got to be
So,
quicker than that.
I know that's right. So please, please make sure that you visit www.untamedpublishing.net for those needs and for those author interviews. And we want to thank our sponsors, Canada Danae, EXO, JC, KB's Bookshelf, Tyler Landscaping, Jones Pressure Washing and Lawn Care, and me and my son's lawn care for all of your monetary money, that jiggle jiggle and phone.
And phone. Thank you. Thank you.
We appreciate you. So we of course are back tonight with a brand new guest. And this guest here, we have had a few people this year who come back who've been reoccurring guests. So it's always good when we get brand new guests on, to be able, like, first time really talking to them and getting to know them. And that's what this month has been. So I'm excited about this. And so, Miss Crystal, it is on you. Intro our special guest in for the evening for the people.
All righty, let's go. So tonight we will be talking to Miss Cher Terais. She is the ultimate Renaissance woman. Okay, Miss Renaissance, Miss Beyonce. Okay. With her passion for Black love, world travel, gorgeous interior design, and architecture, she's crafted beautiful stories centered around perfectly imperfect Black women and the men who will chase them around the world to have them. Take a journey with her from busy street markets to distant escapes in her debut novel, Bali Blue. I read that one and across the savannas of Africa in Mess on the Mara. Originally from Warner Robins, Georgia, Cher Terais has traveled the world. I said that right. I hope I did. If I didn't, please correct me. Okay, has traveled the world extensively and lived abroad in the Middle East for several years. Her travels allowed her to dive into diverse cultures and served as a springboard for more trips around Africa, South Central America, Asia, the Caribbean, and Europe. Proud mother of two daughters and one grandson, Cher Terais encourages them to pursue their dreams with no limits. I would like to say, welcome to the UP Hot Seat. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm ecstatic. I'm too happy for it to be 7 o'clock in the afternoon as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
absolutely.
listen, I'm excited. I'm ecstatic too. I'm so glad to have you on the show, Cher. I am just after reading, your bio and everything, and we're gonna get into it, but I want to ask this first because this was so interesting to me, and I do not want to forget. So, first of all, big ups to Warner Robins, Georgia. I'm
Yes,
a
ma'am.
Georgia native myself, and so it is rare, not rare to get Georgia natives, but it's rare to get Warner Robins in this area,
Right.
in that type of area native. So I appreciate I have some family members that live in that area as well. So I love meeting people who are like originally or even living still in Georgia, especially when you get like in Southwest Georgia area. Because, like I said, it's a rare occasion, so I feel like I'll be talking to family when that happens.
I
Absolutely. Let's
love it.
Yes. But what really interests me is that your bio says you have lived abroad and you traveled the world extensively. So what made you, if you can share, like live abroad. Like how was that? Like what all that you were you able to take from that you applied into your writing?
Oh my goodness. Yes, absolutely. So let me just start by saying Runner Robbins, as we call it from down south, GA.
Yes.
You know what? It's a huge Air Force base there. I think it's the third
Mhm.
largest Air Force base in the world.
Mhm.
My dad
Wow.
Air Force and traveled. My sisters, my brothers. I was in the Army, so that was the springboard for my travel. And it
Okay.
all started in a little bitty town called Warner Robins, Georgia, right? The international city of Georgia, to be fair. That's what it's
Yes.
but yeah, I actually was in the Army for 10 years. That's where I started my small little lust for travel. And then I made this pact with myself about 20 years ago, to be honest, that I would try to travel to a different country outside of the US at least one time per year. And every year since then, except for 2 years during COVID, I kept that promise to myself. So I call myself a world traveler. And now it seems like my family, the way they call me now, they're like, hey, are you in the country?
Yup,
I know
yep.
that's right. I
That
know
sounds
that's
about
right.
right when I get phone calls. Are you home? Are you visiting? I'd be like, yeah, but I like that because that is a goal of mine to go out of the country at least one time a year.
Oh, yeah, it's a must.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love this, and I just love to see when black women travel. I
And
love that
that's what I
part. And
want to write about. That right there. Because
yes,
we everywhere.
We are.
exactly,
Yes,
exactly. We are international.
that's right.
We are, and I love it. And I just love to see us getting out and thriving and enjoying ourselves and having new adventures and new experiences that
Yeah.
we take and we apply, to our lives and to our craft and, just being able to expose our families to, different cultures. So I adore it. And I just tell anybody, listen, you gotta get out and you gotta travel like you said at least once a year, like you gotta go somewhere, you gotta be able to just hit the road. And that is my husband, he always jokes with me because when we got together, he's like a home, like a southern boy, like one of those who just kind of never went too far. And he's like, and he gets with me and I'm like, oh, I want to go here, you want to go here? He's like, okay. And I laughed and I joked. I said, stick with me and I'll take you places. And so he always tells me that every time we travel somewhere, he's like, I'm still sticking with you and you still taking me places.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love it though. I love it. So
Yeah.
I do want to ask you because I didn't start off with how we have decided to simply start off because I said I want to get into that question before I forget because and this mind these days
Yeah, huh, right?
it might skip it. But we always ask, and you brought it up about COVID. So post
Mhm.
COVID and actually kind of going back into COVID because numbers is back on the rise, good people.
Right.
Um, how are you doing personally? Because sometimes all of us kind of went through this thing with COVID where it was I mean, all of us went through something mentally taxing. And
Mhm.
so coming on the outside of that, it's like we always try to say, how are you doing? Like how is life with you?
Yes, that's such a powerful question. I don't think we ask each other that enough. But let me tell you,
No.
during COVID, I feel like I went through this awakening of vulnerability. Like literally, I feel like I cried so much during the year. I'm gonna call it 2 years, right? The 2 years of COVID, right? I feel
Yes.
like I became so open and vulnerable. It was like the first time in my life where I was able to take a breath from work, from life, from raising kids, from all these things and just find myself. And that's exactly when I started writing. Of course, I started writing years before that, but that's when I actually decided I'm actually going to write and publish, right? And
Mm.
Wow.
that was COVID. And ever since then, I feel like I've been on this journey of exploration. Not so much exploring the world, but exploring myself. And I'm finding myself finding new relationships, new friendships, especially in the author community. This is an amazing community, by the way. Um, and yeah, so finding new love, it's all kinds of things going on. So to to answer your question simply, I'm good. I'm doing really good.
That's awesome. I'm so
You,
glad to hear that.
I was
Um,
about to say, you got me over here smiling because that vulnerability, and then, like you said, just finding all the new things. I'm not gonna say that last one you said, that LOVE word,
Hey,
because then I'm gonna get Untamed started. Because her and Isis tried to get me to marry me off, so I'm gonna just keep quiet. But I'm glad that you found it.
yes, ma'am.
listen, and I'm still speaking that over her. I told her to go
She
to the
sure
gas
do.
station.
I
She
listen.
told me
I
to go to the gas station to find my man. Now I'm gonna stay away from the gas station.
Well, it's gonna be where you least expect it. I think that's what Isis told you too, right?
right,
Hmm.
right. When she least
Yeah, they
expected.
setting me up.
See, this is why I said, just go to the gas because that's like an unassuming place, right? First of all,
Hmm.
that's kind of where even me and my 20 something year married self, it's like the gas station is always the number one place I get hit. Oh, I don't know why. I have no clue why. So I was just joking and was like, girl, just go to the gas station. And so
Yep.
now it's gonna be so funny. I can't wait until the day that she drives to the gas station, get some gas,
I
and
ain't
then
been
she
I ain't
called
been
me.
since you called me and told me to go. I ain't been.
She
My daughter said
stopped at the
my daughter
gas
said you
station.
ain't putting no gas in the car. I said I ain't going to the gas
I
station.
ain't going. I ain't going.
She ain't going to the
No, I
gas
ain't
station.
going.
When she goes to the gas station, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
If it do, I am going to call you right then and there and be like, we not friends no more.
It's gonna happen at the gas station. I promise you. But then she gonna call me back and she gonna thank me. So I ain't worried. I'm not worried.
Hmm. I'm be
I'm
like, thank
definitely
you, friend, because I love him.
Oh my
right.
God.
Listen, then she'll be calling me talking about my man, my man, my
My
man.
man. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Now, if it's Dravion Walker at the gas station, then that's my man, my man, my man.
See, and you never know. Her
You-
Dravion Walker might be at the gas
yeah, my
station. So
Dravion Michael Walker might be there. Yep.
see
Okay.
you skipping out on your gas station visits and he over there just pumping
Mhm.
premium.
Look, I ain't ready to go. I ain't going yet. If I go, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be creeping around making that a real fast stop.
Oh my goodness. But I'm so glad that you are doing well. Me and Chris have
Yes.
always you are so welcome because Chris and I have talked about this, and I think a lot of it has to do with what you said. I know from a fact in 2020, some of the best books I read came out in 2020,
Yes,
and
they definitely did.
they've been coming ever since. And so I think a lot of people are just, especially in the writing community, have really found themselves, their pen, who
Mhm.
have that ability to, although we can look at it one way as saying, "Oh my God, it was detrimental. We were home," but you were able to be home and you were able to be centered, and you had enough, you had number time after a while because you couldn't go nowhere. So
Yeah.
it's like
That's true.
I feel
it's
like
a
that was the first time many of us just had a moment to breathe.
yes, yes. You
Yeah.
had time to just focus and center, and just be able to incorporate a lot of things. I think I posted a list one day where I said that it was after a few months. And I said that these were the things that COVID brought back. And I was saying, dinner nights with your family, game nights with your family, your kids, having actual conversation. Because after a while, you got sick of the phone and you got sick of the TV because that's all you could do. And
Right.
so you are actually having conversations again. You're actually bringing that back. People were exercising because they were trying to burn off their energy, and so they were getting, fit or started to get fit again. Cooking again, getting healthy again. Like they was just doing a whole lot of stuff that we kind of just with the where the times are, we got away from, and so it was bringing us back to those kind of roots. And so those are the things that I appreciated, you know, that COVID actually made us, kind of recenter, refocus ourselves on us and family and friends and things like that. So those were the positive things that came out of it. So I'm so happy to hear that you rediscovered your love for writing and actually explored it. And so now here you are, a published author, and on the Get Caught Up podcast, celebrating with us.
Right.
I think we need to clap for that.
I know that's right. I need some snaps and claps. I need some
Need
hand
some
claps. I
clap.
need some
Yes.
certified. Oh my goodness. So now that you are writing and you have this established, career, what is it about your writing that you feel makes you stand apart from other authors?
Ooh, so that's a good question. I feel like I would love for somebody else to answer that, but let's try without sounding any kind of way. So I feel like the parts about writing that I absolutely love is creating
Mhm.
worlds. And I travel a lot. So with my writing, I get to focus on three major things that I love wholeheartedly in my life. And the first one is always going to be travel. That's my thing, right? And so I'm always going to write about different places to bring in different cultures, experiences, different worlds, smells. I want a sensory experience when you read one of Cher Terais' books, right? I want you to be able to know exactly where you are by how it looks, feels, smells, the people, how they talk, all that good stuff. And then the second part of that is I'm a trained interior designer, so I have a serious love for interior design and architecture. So that's another thing with the world building I love to incorporate in my stories. And then all of that centers, of course, Black love. And the reason why I focus on Black love, specifically Black love, I love to read about Black love, but I love to see it as well. And so I feel like there has been this major push to erase Black love from mass media. And so I want to make sure to center that in all of my books. And again, I said it before, we are everywhere. We're not just in Atlanta or Detroit
You better
or
say
Or
Miami. We're
DC.
all over this
Yep.
world. That part, yeah, we are all over this world, and I want us to be able to experience it. So if you can't pick up right now and go to Bali, or you can't go to Kenya, then guess what? You can pick up one of my books and you can go there and be transported. So I feel like
You
stand
you
up.
made me want to go to Bali with Bali Blue because I read that book for you. And I
Yeah.
noticed you changed the cover too, because on the cover before it would look like a architectural like a graph.
Uh huh.
Yeah, so I remember the book when I saw you, and I was like, yes, I read that book. But you definitely maybe wanted to do that, and I like you said how you put in the travel piece, how you put in the interior design. Like I love that because I felt like we wasn't just getting to know the character, but we was also getting to know the author as
Yeah,
well.
I love that. Yeah.
yes, and I love the fact that you said you made a great point when you said that they are trying to erase Black love from mass media, and
Yeah.
Yep.
that is a point that is known and we haven't really touched on here on the podcast. So I was so glad that you brought that up because that is such a fact. Like,
Yeah.
um, I will say this: I have nothing against interracial relationships, but there is
Me.
something to be said about Black love. It just is such a beautiful thing, and it has never really gotten the recognition that it needs. And then when it did begin to get recognized, it was fading and fleeting. I would say like for those of us like Gen Xers and boomers and everything who were boomers and grew up watching the Cosby Show, but they were able to see it in a way as adults, and then us who were like Gen Xers, we were able to grow up with like the Cosby Show with a different world. So we got to see
Hmm.
the love and
Martin and
the
Gina.
the
Yeah.
Martin
Yeah.
Luther King
Family
Day, like the
Matters.
family matters of the
Yep,
world. We got to grow up and we got to see black love in those different aspects. Even with shows like All of Us, where the couple
yep,
was separated but they lived together, so they showed how they could co-parent because they were together to co-parent for
Mhm.
their child. Um, we got to see black love demonstrated in so many ways in media, and it was like as soon as that
Mhm.
became a reality. Like that was something that was just kind of ours. And then and
Yeah.
nobody was they was just like, oh, let them have it. And then it was like, oh wait a minute. They own us something now. We gotta we gotta force this out of the window. So it's like you don't really see that now. Like the most
You don't.
marriages you see are reality TV. And then of course that's laden with these crazy stories and always fighting and all these cat fights and all of this stuff. And nobody
Oh,
ever half the people who were married end up divorced by the time the season over. Uh,
yep.
so it's just it's wild.
yeah.
So I will say that I love that you mentioned it, and I love the fact that now more than ever, especially in 2020, and
Mhm.
beyond, that there are so many black romance authors who are reintroducing those worlds to
Mhm.
readers. And I think that through that, the movies that have been coming on Hallmarks and Mahogany and Lifetime, they're showcasing our black love stories. Are It's reinventing that, reinvigorating that.
Uh-huh.
And I love it.
I'm
I
glad
absolutely
they
love
putting
it.
us on Hallmark because I used to watch everything on Hallmark and it wasn't just straight
You
black.
do see us. Yeah, you
Right.
really do see us a lot on there.
Yep, you'll see us on there, but yeah, you're right. You didn't.
Absolutely. You did see us on there, but now we back. And then, now they got Mahogany. So, we getting on up there. We coming back.
Hmm.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years.
Thank you. That is the
Exactly.
perfect lyrics. Yep.
And you know
So
what
that's
I feel like is really happening that I'm seeing, like we have a lot of independent black romance authors that are actually making it to big screen too. Like,
mm-hmm,
Yes.
oh my God, is it
mm-hmm,
Tia Williams? Of course,
Oh,
mm-hmm.
she
Perfect
is
Fine
such a
on Netflix.
beautiful person.
Hmm. And
Such
then
a
we got
beautiful person.
my girl, my favorite author right now, Miss Kennedy Ryan. With
Yes.
Before I
Mm-hmm.
Let Go coming to, I think, is it Paramount or
Peacock.
I which one? Peacock. But I
Yes.
love
Mm-hmm.
that for us. And then, of course, one of my favorite movies is always going to be The Photograph. And I think that movie did it for me. And I feel like that's when I was like, okay, yeah, let me go and start writing these books.
I
Hmm.
know that's right. I know that's right. Oh my gosh. And that
Yeah.
is such a beautiful thing. We have all of these amazing stories, and I'm a
Mhm.
1000% with you there on Kennedy Ryan. I will say this: I was late to the Kennedy Ryan party.
Me too.
I was late to her party, but I'm here now. I'm
Hmm.
here now, and I literally, like, I think I just ended up consuming like maybe 4 or 5 books of hers at one time. So yeah, like I'm flying
And
through her
made me grow my
catalog.
to be read list that'll never go down.
Listen,
Hmm.
she is a phenomenal writer. Like I just so like one time for Kennedy Ryan, like for real. If
Yeah.
you have not gotten into her work, please do. Because
Please
as
do. Yes.
Absolutely.
please do, because she is a testament to it. Her and Tia Williams. Tia Williams is a beautiful person. I met her in person, and she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Um, just adorable. I love that they are so personable and
They really are.
approachable. Oh my gosh, it's just a beautiful thing. And like I said, I feel like right now we are in the years of the black woman in a way that we have not been in a while. So I
Yeah.
love it.
They ain't ready. They not ready.
They
So
not
I have a
ready.
question for you because, Untamed did share that a future author. So, I did share with her. I picked in 2020, I started writing my first book. 6 chapters
Yes.
in, set that book down and said, I ain't doing this. This is some shit. I was like, this is not good. I wouldn't read this. And that's when I discovered I love, love, love to see it, but I am not a romance writer. Did
Okay.
you know that she was always a romance writer?
You know what? I didn't know what it was going to be when I first started writing Bali. Well, first of all, let me take a step back. What is it with the sixth chapter where you realize, okay, let me put this down?
I know, because I couldn't go no further.
I did the exact same thing with the very first book I tried to write. I think I might have been 22 at the time. And I
Right.
the sixth chapter, and that was about the time that I was like, you know what? I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yep. That's
How to get from this part of the story to where it ends because I cannot even see the ending at this point.
yep. That's how it
That's six
was.
chapter. There's got to be something about that six chapter.
Six said that's six too many of wrong chapters. I'm guessing. I don't know. But I meant like the first chapter, I was like, okay, you did your thing. When it
Yeah.
got to the sixth chapter, I said, oh, wait a minute. She's supposed to love him back?
Okay, like how we
Supposed
get
to
there?
do that? Oh, how am I supposed to do this when she's never been around a boy a day in her life because her
Right.
parents had her in the church all the time? I don't know
Mhm.
what I'm doing. I'm gonna just put it down.
It takes some life experience, I think, to get past that sixth chapter.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as romance, I had no idea what Bali Blue was gonna be. I just wanted to tell a story, and if I can, let me give you a little backstory. I
Okay.
started writing that book because I have this love affair in my head with Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Okay.
Okay.
And I decided because he won't play a romantic role, I don't know what's going on with these kids' movies, these action movies. Why will he not play a love story? Right?
I can't see him playing a love story.
I can see it though. So I said, if he's not going to play it, I'm going to write it.
I
So
can't.
he,
That man used to slam people on the mat and
that's what
ask them, "Can you smell what the rock is cooking?"
that
Listen.
was nice, so sexy. Like he needs to be,
It
you know,
was.
yeah. Anyways, I'm sitting over here fantasizing.
I know it was. Look, it was.
She said, yeah. She got caught up in that moment. Listen,
Yes.
he was like, if Tyler Perry ever did, why did I get married to? Wasn't he
Yeah,
supposed to have a love affair with Janet
with
Jackson?
Janet
Oh,
Jackson,
Janet Jackson.
everybody forgets about that.
Yep, and he
Look,
did look
not me.
sexy.
Look, not me. I've been trying to get Tyler Perry to do this move for the long because I want to see the rock.
Yeah. So when I started writing Bali Blue, I wrote it exactly with him in mind because
Mm.
Kendrick, the main character in Bali Blue, all I could see was him. But then I didn't want everybody else to see him because I was seeing him, right? So I wrote him a little. He was the absolute inspiration for that story. Ree came secondary. The main female character came secondary to the main male character, and so the book is actually it's partially set in Hawaii. So yeah, Kendrick picked
Hmm.
Hawaiian, half black. And then he meets his little Spitfire, Rianne Carson, honey from Atlanta, and they meet in Bali. And they
Yep.
don't like.
That was definitely a great love story. Like you said, just picturing him in your head. And I didn't picture him. I didn't even think to picture him. But
Glad.
now, yeah. I would
Well,
have been like,
listen.
no. It just like I was listening to some the other day, and that's what I struggle with sometimes is like, okay, I know who I want my characters to be, but then I'm like, I don't want to use famous people.
Right,
So it's
right.
like,
People can't say
kind
it.
of hard to coming up with characters and what you want them to look like. But I already know every man that you read that come from me, they going to
Mhm.
be 6'2" and up. Cause I love a tall man.
You say you
Cause
love a tall man.
I love a
Mhm.
tall man. Cause one thing I say is I love to climb a tree.
Yes, ma'am.
But you know what?
Water.
Yeah.
Look, and on that note, but we look, we go slide on the head. See, I'm telling you, her dream young walking at the gas station talking about she like climb tree, the tree at the gas
Oh
station.
Lord, don't
Okay,
do this to me.
the tree at the gas station. So, but we
Playing
are
roots.
going. I know that's
Right.
right. Lay the roots down. Lay the roots down. So I want to just slide over it to get it off your chest. Look, so 'cause she done got it off her chest about the rock, but she got it off her chest about the rock. But
Yes.
if there is anything that whether it's life is life, or if it's just the literary industry, whether it's a rant or a rave, what is one thing that you just kind of want to say? You know what? I just want to get this off my chest.
You know what? I went and got my nails done the other day, and this is not the only time, but I just need to get off my chest all of these stores that don't take American Express. And let me explain.
Mm.
First and foremost, I try to use my American Express every chance I get because when I write about these places in my books, I actually travel to the places I write about. So it costs a lot of money. So I try to
Yeah.
try as many points as possible on my American Express card, right? And all these places don't take American Express. So, first of all, my rant is about don't have me standing in your line looking like I ain't got no money because you don't take my card like it's been declined or something.
Mm.
I know
That
that's
part.
right.
Number
Because what
two,
they say,
stop
never
messing
leave
up.
home without it.
Exactly. Stop messing up my points so I can go to different places. That's
I
it.
know that's right. I know that's right. Never leave home without it. Well, I did leave home without it. I need y'all to take it where I'm going.
Right.
Everywhere.
Everywhere you want to be. Like just like
Right.
who is that? Visa on Mastercard to say we everywhere you want to be.
Yes.
So I hear that. I hear that. So Crystal, do you have a rant or a rave that you would
I,
like to
I
get
I
off your
really
chest?
do. I really do. And I've been thinking about this long and hard. And I'm gonna rant about this author. Her name is Untamed. Um she wrote this book called The View 2, and is currently writing View 3. Yes, I'm saying currently because I hope she's currently writing it. But let me tell you something. I wore her text message out the whole time I was reading that book. Now I see why Miss Roney called her a writing ass scallywag. That book was so good that she had me wanting to. That's why I don't like Katrina, spelled with a C.
Oh my God.
Stupid self. Let me just say, if y'all have not read The View by Untamed, please pick up that book. Now, I will give you a little spoiler. There is infidelity in it. So I don't need y'all sliding in her DM, getting on her because she putting stuff in there about infidelity. Folks cheat. Okay?
Okay.
Point blank, period. Folks cheat. Don't get mad. Just read the book, enjoy it, and go for the ride. And be on Team Hudson.
Yeah, she'll tell me what tea to be on.
Yeah, I'm
Listen
telling y'all to
to
be on Team Hudson. We don't like Michael and we don't like Katrina
her.
or the mama or Carly's mama. So that's all I'm gonna say. But I had to get that off my chest that I need Untamed to get 3 finished so me, Lisa, and Miss Roney can talk about this book. And that's all I got to say. There we go.
All
I want
right.
to
The
add.
big three.
I know that's right. Listen, I just want
Hmm.
to add to that though. I'll tell y'all a quick story that was funny as I don't know what. So my husband, who I my first series, he knows that I based some of one of my characters off of him. So I talked to him a lot. He read majority of all of it. He read beforehand, and then of course he read the series after it was published. But he had not read The View. I didn't really talk to him about what The View was about. That intention is just didn't work out like that. We just was just in a different space, and I didn't really have to talk to him about it. So, just so happened I was at an event, local event, selling my books, and one of the deacons from my church walked
Mm,
up in
mm, mm.
walked at the event, and he's like, "I didn't know you wrote books," and he's trying to pick up everything on that table. He want to pick up The View, and I was like, "Absolutely not! You cannot read this." And so, he was just like, "But it looks so interesting." I said, "No." So, one of the other members he was dating at the time, because he's a single man, so he was dating one of the members of the church, the female. She
Okay,
comes in,
Michael. Okay,
and she,
Michael.
and he was single now, he was single. And so she picks up The View, and she says that's the one she want to buy. I said, "Oh Lord." So they read it together, and
Oh.
yeah. So next time I see him at church after they finish the book, He shakes everybody's hand. He goes to me. He's like,
Oh my goodness.
and,
See?
and, and so he looks at my husband, who has not read this book at the time. He read it after this conversation. and listen, and he says, "Well, it's okay. It's all fiction. As long as she's not doing what was in the book." And my husband just laughed, and he was like, "No, about that." That's what he tells his man. And I look at him, and I said, "He has not read it." And he was like, because his big eyes just bucked. And he was like, "He's not read it." And so I said, "He's not read it." And he was like, "Oh," he said, "Oh yeah, I had read it." And then he was like, "But you know," he explains to him that my first series was based off my life. And he was like, "Oh, that makes sense." He said, "No, I think you need to read this book, bro, so you give an answer like that again." I was like,
Yeah,
God.
that woo. I was not ready. I was just like untamed. Oh my gosh.
I said, "This man, listen, I went off on him so bad we got in that car after church. I was like, you ain't read this book yet and you trying to tell these people to listen to it." I said, "This ain't got nothing to do with me."
Yep. Nothing to
So
do with you at all.
I had to show him. So he heard it read it and then he was like, "Oh, my bad, man." Yes, your
Yeah.
man. Don't you tell nobody else that I'm writing this based on my life experience. So,
Hmm.
but but I will say, look, since I'm talking about him, I will say my rant is about party invitations. Okay, so my husband just celebrated his 50th, his golden birthday, on the 18th. Yay! And it was a surprise party at the house. And it's like this. My husband is the person that's like really he's simple. He don't like all. He thought we was gonna go out to dinner, me and the kids, and he wasn't expecting a doggone thing. Okay, so it was like a surprise party, like I said, and I just put since it didn't work out how we wanted to, we had it at our house, and so it was just an intimate affair with like family and friends who he just really, really hang out with and jail with and stuff like that. Why is always that one person that's in the family? That's in the family, but you don't never hear nothing from the family until they see something that they want a part of, and then they hit you up with, "What was my invitation?" I ain't talked to you in 4 years. Where you
Okay.
coming from? Talking about where your invitation. Even if I invited the whole family, you wouldn't have been on the list because I forgot about you. I forgot about you. I just want to say it like this. Y'all listen. Y'all better start taking these personal advice not too serious. Because honestly, sit here and think about it. If you don't talk to this person and you don't deal with this person and you don't hang with this person and you see them having an event, when you had some event with your family members, did you invite them? Think about that. And then before you put out the question, where was my invite? Because I'm gonna ask you, when you was out having your family barbecues or going on your family vacations, your invite the same place mine was when you went and did what you was doing.
That part.
I'm just saying, I was like, that one family member got to be the one family member coming here. Where was my invite? Ain't nobody talked to you in 4 years, baby doll. Like,
See?
stop it.
Sorry.
Stop it. And not by choice. Like you just not you're not available to your family like that. Like your extended family. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's okay. That's okay. I have no problem with you going and do whatever you want to do with the people that's close to you that you hang around all the time and y'all want to do stuff. I must like it and love it and all this stuff when I see it on social media. Don't come over here asking me for no invitation. I want you to know good and well that you don't never be around nobody.
To get an invite,
To
like
get
you
an
said, I ain't
invite.
talked to you in years, and you want to come to my house?
Oh,
No, we can't do that.
You don't even know where I
I got to learn
stay.
you all over again to see if I want that energy in my house.
You don't even know where I stay, baby. Why you over here?
See?
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness. But that is my rant for today. It's like, listen, just hit the like or the love, or you don't have to. But don't come ask me for the invite, okay? Please stop. Don't ask, don't ask me for the invite. But anyway, listen, so we are going to take a quick break right here. Now that we've been in, since I didn't realize I was gonna be a part of the event, so I I should have slid off right after that and went to bed.
Stop writing them book. Get that book out.
So I'm gonna look. I'm gonna put my church finger up and slide the break, and then when we
Yes.
come back, we are going to dive into the book of the hour, which is Mess on the Morrow. I will read the synopsis, and then Miss Crystal is going to give us some in-depth questions, like she always do, about the book, and we will be right back in just one moment. Hello, 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 and we are back. Welcome back to the Get Caught Up podcast. And before the break, we talked to Miss Cher Terais about her adventures as an author. She has explained to us about her world travels, about wanting Dwayne the Rock Johnson to be in more romance movies. So she made him a fictitious character in her book, and we got some stuff off our chest. So right now, I am going to read the synopsis for her book, Mess on the Mara, and then we are going to dive into questions about the book. So, you guys, here is the synopsis. A dynamic duo, best friends and co creators of the wildly popular food blog, Gastrophique, find their world turned upside down when an anonymous venture capitalist offers them a once in a lifetime opportunity a food critic show in a restaurant of their own. But there's a catch. Andra must film the show in Kenya while Kobe oversees the restaurant in Atlanta, leaving their friendship to face the test of distance and unresolved feelings. As Andra navigates her Maasai heritage and confronts her past, she struggles with feelings of betrayal while simultaneously longing for the only man she's ever trusted, her best friend Kobe. Back in Atlanta, Kobe grapples with his newfound independence and the void left by Audra's absence. Their separation becomes a crucible, igniting passions and forcing both Audra and Kobe to confront their unspoken desires. With the weight of their dreams and the fate of Gastrophique hanging in the balance, the growing tension between them threatens to shatter their world. Mess on the Mara is an angsty friends to lovers romance set against the vivid backdrop of the Maasai culture. This intense emotional journey takes readers through the heartbreak of separation, betrayal, and unrequited love, proving that even in the most turbulent times, love can emerge from the chaos. All right, so let's get into Mess on the Mara. Oh my goodness. This is what I love about this. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I gotta say this, Crystal, before we get into it. This synopsis lets me know you're a real traveler because this story is so unique just from the
It
synopsis. I
is.
love it. I love, absolutely love the concept. I love the idea of it. And like I said, it just breathes like culturally and just I feel like I'm about to go on a journey. I feel it in my spirit and in my veins. So I love that. I just wanted to say that about your synopsis.
Well, thank you.
And that was actually that's going to lead into my first question. Like, where did the thought of this book come from? Because I feel like it's totally different from the book Bali Blue. So, where did it the idea come from?
So, real story. I was on my way to Bali to actually research Bali Blue. So, I had to fly. It's a 32-hour flight, by the way.
Oh
Well, not
wow!
two. It took 32 hours to get there. So, from Atlanta to LA, LA to Australia, then Australia to Bali.
Oh
Well, what
wow!
Right, exactly. So again, totally focused on Bali Blue and the research for that. I was on my way from Atlanta to LA and I ran in, well, my seatmates, these big old Delta flights, when you go on long distance, these are huge planes, right?
Right.
So my seatmates happened to be this couple. I'm a people watcher, so I love the airport and I love being on planes. And when I saw this couple coming down the aisle, I was like, dang, they so pretty. Like she's so pretty. He's handsome. I was thinking they were married, right?
Right.
Um, well, they sit there right next to me, and I was like, oh. And I'm trying not to be nosy because I've already been checking them out, right? And so they sit down, and their interaction with each other let me know that either they were lovers, super close friends, or something. They knew each other.
Right.
So a little while into this flight, they started talking. I just started joining the conversation to find out that these good looking people from Atlanta, and I don't know if y'all know about the dating scene in Atlanta, but it's trash.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's trash. But the first thing after I done jumped in their conversation, I wanted to know, like, why are y'all so good looking and not dating each other? It turned out that they were best friends. And so I was like, what? Y'all look too good together to just, in my head, of course, I'm saying this. I didn't say it to them, but I was like,
I
they look
would have.
too good together to be just best friends. They were so cool. But anyways, it also turned out that the guy, he was a adjunct professor at, I feel like he said Pepperdine University. I'm an adjunct
Okay.
professor as well, so we had a lot to talk about. And the lady, she was on her way to LA to talk to some producers about a food blog show she was going to do in Senegal.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
where the story came from.
wow.
That is literally where the story came from. I said, I do not want to recreate this woman's life, but I had to sit there and ask the question. Number one, how can two good looking people, seemingly, very successful, beautiful people, both very single, because at that point I was all up in their Kool-Aid.
Right.
And I had to ask the question. I didn't ask it directly of them because the story started forming in my head. Like, dang, there's a story behind this. Two beautiful people
Mm-hmm.
are just best friends. Number one, why? That's what I wanted to answer. And then the second part of that was, why would somebody move from the US to Africa? This lady was moving to Africa to start this food show.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you see it the
Wow.
other way.
Right.
Someone from some country moving to Atlanta, you very rarely see a black woman, especially, moving to a different country for something else, right? And so I wanted to explore that. That's where the story came from. Again, I hadn't even written Bali Blue yet, and that story started coming together for me. So I knew it was going to be in Africa, didn't know where. Kenya came up one day. I was looking for flights to Africa, and I found a $500 ticket to Kenya.
Oh.
Oh,
Round
How
trip
long is that flight?
in Kenya. Yep.
I loved it because I started reading and
Uh-huh.
I'm really enjoying it. I loved how they met. They were both young in seventh grade. He was a new kid in school.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm glad she kind of took her anger out on that little bully because he deserved it. But okay, so that's the background to the story, and I love that. But what made you decide to like make them just best friends? And is it because of that, or that's how you just wanted it to start out?
Yeah, that's kind of how I wanted to start. I wanted them to explore friendship. You know,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
again, beautiful, successful people. Now, I knew they were going to be successful, but then
Right.
I also knew it was going to be a love story, a friends to lovers love story. I knew that going in, but I wanted to explore friendship between two people, because I always hear it. A man and a woman can't be just friends.
That is true. I've heard that a lot.
And I wanted to challenge that, but at the same time, I guess they lost the bet because
They ended up being more than friends.
yeah,
Yes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
the title "Mess on the Mara,"
that's
like,
on.
where did that come from?
So again, I had no idea where in Africa the book was going to be set. To be honest, the messy part came in that I wanted to do a lot of research. I wanted to pay homage to Nollywood. I don't know if you guys watch any of the Nigerian love stories or the
I
rom.
haven't watched them,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I
Yeah,
heard they're definitely good.
yep.
Yes.
So I wanted to pay homage to that. So I knew watching a lot of those movies, doing my research, going to actual Kenya and just experiencing the culture. Honey, those are some fun. A lot of those women are so funny to me. Like they are unadulterated themselves, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They are flashy. They are fancy, honey. They are just living life to me. And so when I saw how it was something about the teeth sucking in the movies as well as
Hmm.
and they're like when one of those women suck their teeth, you already know it's some shade about to be thrown.
Yes. And be here for it. I'll be here for it.
And I'm
Because it's
here
gonna be
for it.
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where the mess part came from. I wanted to make sure that I incorporated all of that culture, the good stuff. And I also knew I had to, as I was exploring Andra's backstory off page, of course, um, I was again trying to answer the question, what would make someone move to Africa to film anything or to do anything? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Move, not,
Right.
not just go visit, but move and take that leap. And so as I was going into writing the story, I was like, it's got to be something major. And that's where the
Mm-hmm.
idea of, having daddy issues. And can I curse on here?
As much as I
Absolutely.
curse.
Okay, okay, okay. Just want to make sure. Respect. There is a whole fuck girl.
Yeah.
I wanted to explore. We always talking about fuck boy behavior and this. I wanted her to be the fuck boy. And so I
I
wanted
love you for saying that. Because we
Yes.
need to see more women like that. You're right.
Mhm. Yep. And so going into this story, she didn't care. And Kobe, again, the only man she ever trusted, right? Why?
Right.
I had to answer all those questions. And so that's
Well,
where
her teacher, she loved Mr. Washington.
but you got to think about it too. A series of things led up to her becoming this fuck boy.
Yeah, that is true. That
Her
is
dad
true.
left. That's a
Yeah.
major story. Her dad not being her life and leaving when she was 4. Like it wasn't
Hmm.
that he
Mm-hmm.
was never there. He was there and just was gone. And she didn't
Right.
understand why. And then fast forward a little bit, her teacher did the same thing. The only
The
other man
same thing.
gone. And then, it's little bits of it spread it throughout the story where every experience of a man she's had, except Kobe, has dipped on her.
Right.
And
Well,
so
I
she
just
became part.
yes, I just want to say that first of all, I'm in love with the name Kobe because I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan, so I'm gonna be a fan of Kobe anyway in this book. But I love what you said about making her a fuck look a fuck girl fuck woman or
Right.
because one point that I think that we need to like another point we need to let be known is
Mhm.
that here's the thing fathers have to understand how much of a role that they play in their daughters' lives.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because what happens is when you don't love on your daughter and show them that particular care from a father's perspective,
Mhm.
that one or two things happen. Now, not all of us happen, but we all tend to go through our cycle of this who don't have
Hmm.
fathers in their life. You either turn into a fuck woman
Mhm.
or you get to dealing with fuck boys until you learn some better. And
Yep.
Exactly.
so I feel like, we could not saying that you would never run into that even if you had your father's love, but you would know how to back away from it and you possibly would know how to spot it and
Mhm.
That is
identify it
true.
when it's coming versus getting stuck in the thick of things and having to go through the hard lesson of stuff to come out of it and be like, oh, okay, so now I know what I don't want in my life. You know what I'm saying?
It takes some growth. It takes a moment to get there, you know.
It does. It does.
Yeah,
Um,
it definitely do. Now, another question I had, because you did say, excuse me, it was in the synopsis about the heartbreak of separation.
Yeah.
Why did it take them to realize how they really felt about each other when they were separated?
Because you know what? They kind of grew up as siblings. Another piece of the story, without giving too much of it away, Andra is an only child. Kobe has a brother, I'm sorry.
Right,
Both parents in the home. Andra is the product of a single parent household where she's basically a latchkey kid.
right.
You
The mama a
know, don't use
workaholic.
that much these days. And then her mom, bitter. for whatever reason that her and Andrew's dad didn't work out, she stayed bitter, and she kind of um not took it out on Andra, but she focused all of her energy towards her work. And
Right,
Andra
instead of
basically raised
Andrew.
herself, yeah, except the time she spent with Kobe and his family. And so they pulled her in as family.
And I
And
love that. I
yeah,
definitely love that you put that in there and got to see that, because I did read a part where she was like, I got to be around his family and they pulled me in. So I did like that. And I
mhm,
was like, because you're right, she was with a mom who was like always
yep,
at work, like work, work, work. But it wasn't her fault the dad left. You
exactly.
chose a fuck boy. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You chose a fuck boy. I didn't choose him. So that's
Yep,
not my fault.
yep.
But
Oh wow.
what's okay, so like I said, I'm reading and I'm reading kind of fast because I'm like enjoying it. But
Um,
what should we take from this story?
Absolutely. So a couple again, the two questions I asked, what would cause someone to make such a life-changing move, whatever the move is. She ended up
Right.
in Kenya,
A
recording.
whole continent away.
Right, exactly. Kobe on the other hand, let's not forget him because he's an intricate part of the story.
Right.
He had to discover what life was without her, and it's deeper than just his friend is gone. Right? He's an
Right.
immigrant. He came here almost not speaking English, and
English,
she
yes.
took him
Mm-hmm.
under her wing. So she was his strength. In a culture he knew nothing of. Of course, he
Mm-hmm.
was
Right.
black, but that was his rock. And at the same time, he was her rock too, but she was a little bit more savvy than Kobe.
She definitely was, because that live that you had where they was introducing about telling them about their brand deals, I was like, oh, she's a pistol.
Oh,
And
she
I
was
love
good.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're almost like opposites attracting to each other, but he accepts her wholeheartedly as who she is, and she does with him as well. But she can't see him as she doesn't see him as a man almost. She almost sees him as just Kobe, you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a whole catalyst. And if I get a chance to read a bit of it, I'll read the catalyst that had her looking at him totally different, because it wasn't just, oh, he cute.
Oh yeah, like they want him to take his shirts off on
Yeah,
lives and all
right,
that other
right.
stuff. I
Wasn't
got
Yeah.
you.
more than that.
But that's one thing I like you said, what I've learned I love is, and I've learned with being in a relationship, the longest relationship I had in my life was we were friends first. Like
Hmm.
we were great friends, and yeah, we started dating, had a kid, we broke up, but we're still friends. Like
Yeah.
we still get along with each other now. And I love the fact that you did a friendship first, and like not just a short friendship, because I've read books where people maybe been friendships for a few years, but like you said, they grew up together.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you put that in there. So was it like other pieces that you pulled maybe from your life or other people that would say, "Oh, let's make them, let's put this in this book for their friendship."
So yes and no. I've never had a lifelong male friend like that. I'll be honest with
Okay,
you. Now, and I've also never had a male friend that didn't either try in some way, shape, or form to turn it more than just friendship either. So,
got you.
Y'all know,
I
but
did though pull a little tidbits about our interactions into it and how Kobe and Andrew interact with each other, because you really in the beginning of the story they're like homeboys to be
They really are.
honest.
When he
really.
asked her who was the mark for tonight, and she was like, "Watch your
Exactly.
mouth,
Okay, watch your mouth.
watch your
Exactly.
mouth."
Hmm.
Yeah. Y'all know, and it's so funny that you even said that because I'm gonna tell you, it makes me wonder now if men and women really can be friends, because I promise you, like I grew up around like all boys, so
Hmm.
to my heart, to my core, I was a tomboy because I didn't have a choice. Like my closest female friends, when until I got like in school were like my second and third cousins, but like all of my first cousins that were near my age, my brother, they were all boys. And so I
Yeah,
had to do all the boy things and all of this good stuff. So like naturally, as I'm in school and things, I gravitate to boys. Like that's even to this day, I'm so much of a boy like person. Um Me and my daughter, we actually bond over reading and writing, like in makeup. But like my first bond is like with my sons over sports. So
Mhm.
See, yeah.
they like hang out with me, they chill with me, in doing things that you would think that they would typically do with their dad. It's like they normally would do with me. I'm still like that, and it's like, but I will say this, like the one male friend I had growing up with. The most hilarious thing, we were friends all our life and everything. I swear to God, that man revealed to me, not even, they hadn't even been like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that he had the biggest crush on me and he never knew how to approach me. And I was just
Mhm.
like, why would you tell me?
Why you
Like,
tell me
why
that?
would you tell me this? Like, we're like clearly in our 40s, right? Like, why would you? And I've been married for like, years and years at this point. Like, why would
Isn't
you
that
tell me
always
this?
so random how they
Yes,
Hmm.
just the most random. I was like, how? Why would you tell me? And of course, by me being married, of course, and most men they don't trust men anyway. They just kind of tolerate it. They be like, "Oh, that's my friend Nicole," and then because my husband is like, "I don't believe it. I believe the man have a crush on you."
Of course, they know. They be knowing.
And I was just like, when he said it, like, y'all, I had to tuck my tail and be like, he's saying, of course, my husband was like, yep, what I told you. I
Oh, men always know. They always know. They
was
peep
like,
that game.
Mhm.
dang it, dang it. I said, I can't believe it. But when I say childhood friends, just like Kobe and Andrew, like, man, all the way from like second grade.
Mhm.
Okay, so I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
That's yep. That's how it be. It be that long, and then they just be like, "Oh, bam, I like you." Like, oh,
It's like,
oh,
I had
you
the biggest
sure?
crush on you for
I
years.
always look at your booty.
Right. I had the biggest crush on you for years and I never knew how to approach you. But then guess what? You out of luck now. You SOL now, bro.
You SOL now, right? Sorry,
Looks
sir. Mm-mm. Nope, nope, nope. So, would you like? Will there be like a third book? Because I'm trying. No, Mara wasn't in it. So, are you already working on the next book, and where are you taking us?
I am already working on book 3, and we are going to Tulum next. Yeah,
Oh, I'm excited for that.
I am
Yeah.
too. But you know what I'm even more excited about? So it's 3 books in the Wanderlust series. So Bali Blue is
Right.
the first book, Mess on the Mars the second book, and Tempest in Tulum already has a title. That's going to be the
Oh,
third book.
Mm.
They are standalones though. However,
right.
of course, Andra from Mess on the Mara is the main character here, but she was featured in Bali Blue when Ree was actually on her way to Bali. She was Ree's seatmate and on the plane. And
I was
so
about to say, I thought so. I
Mm.
remember her when I saw it. I was like, wait a minute, I remember her name from the other book. I just can remember what she was in the other book.
yep. And so in Mess on the Mara, of course, that's where Andra's story came from. And Andrew and Kobe already gave you the backstory. Well, in Tempest and Saloon, that book is all about Okio and Delia. And if you remember from Bali Blue, Delia is Rianne's assistant. And Okio, if you haven't gotten to this part yet, Crystal, is in Mess on the Mara. So you'll discover him in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, my goodness. Well, I want to ask you this, because I heard you say it, so I'm just gonna tap in and check in. Now,
Check.
did you have a little snippet of Muscle Tomorrow that you wanted to grace our ears with?
I do. And it's about maybe 2 pages long, so it shouldn't take long to read, but it's kind of it's not necessarily the catalyst for why Andrea kind of starts crushing on her best friend, but it's the immediate after effect, if you
Well,
will.
I'm here for it.
All right.
Okay, well, listen, the floor is yours whenever
Yeah.
you are ready. Because listen, I want to tap in with this.
All right. Well, look, let me channel my inner Wesley Shaban.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Come
as,
on, Wesley. Let's
as I
look,
read this.
the
Look,
best.
She gonna be here next week, right?
We gonna be here next week. Look, the bestie, we part of the bestie, so we gonna help you. We gonna help you channel it.
Right. All right. So keep in mind again, this is directly after something happened that has her looking at Kobe a little differently. All right. So chapter 11. He moved closer, finally leaning in for a passionate kiss. I felt like I had been waiting a lifetime for his lips to touch mine. I lit on fire as soon as the soft satin of his lips met my hungry, uncontrollable desire. His hands explored my curves with wild intensity. My heart raced, threatening to open my chest. His touch burned like nothing I'd experienced before. It both scared and excited me at the same time. We moved closer still, as if guided by some unknown force, until we finally reached a table in the back of the room. He lifted me, the cool edge under my ass added to the blissful sensations. Every part of me was radiating pleasure as our bodies melded. The contrast of his dark hands against the molten gold of my thighs as he watched or wrenched them apart took me even higher. It took only a second for him to have me open to him, filling the space between us with his monstrous dick leveled at my slick wetness. My soul left my body. I hovered over us, watching, feeling his dick, or feeling his full erection slowly inch into me. I gripped the edge of the steel prep table. Ah, I cried. He inched deeper. The dim candlelight cast a seductive glow over the room, while the smell of spices filled the air. The heady aroma of cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg invaded my senses, tickling my nose as his chest hairs tickled my nipples. He inched a little deeper. I moaned again, this time louder as my walls spasmed around his fullness. The tightness he created in my, I'll skip that word, had me wanting to beg him, fuck me already. He went slower. The agony of wanting him buried deep in me threatened to drive me insane. Sensing my frenzy, he whispered, Andrew, I've waited my entire life for this, baby. Just let me savor the moment. I whimpered, acquiescing in his arms. I wrapped my legs around his waist and an arm around his neck, leaning back, pulling him into me on the table. He put his soft lips on mine, letting them linger as though etching their taste and feel to memory. His body shuddered from the slow torture he was rendering to me and to himself. Another eternity passed before he lifted his head. His smoldering gaze pierced me, while his lips suspended over mine. Then, without warning, he let out a guttural cry as he bit into the soft flesh of my shoulder, ramming his perfectly hard dick into my. I woke up with a start, entire body flushed, my own wetness lubricating my thighs. I was suddenly embarrassed at the realization that I was having an intimate dream about Kobe. What the fuck? A flashback of his dick invaded my thoughts as I lay tangled in the sheets, tugging them over my head as if to be able to block out the image. I groaned as flashbacks of our naked bodies twisting around each other in the kitchen of Ja came flooding back. I'd visited Kobe enough times over the years to know every detail of that place, and in my dream, we were about to fuck where somebody's food would be plated. I dragged myself out of bed, already feeling off my game. Ugh, I groaned, forcing myself to start getting dressed. Today was the first day of shooting. One thing I knew for sure was that I was going to have to sort out why in the holy hell that dream had my ass getting wet all over again just thinking about him. And I'll stop right there.
Oh my gosh. So they
Ooh,
serving mandingo and fish on the menu.
At the Michelin star restaurant, honey.
Michelin
Right.
star. Oh, listen,
Oh my God. And I'm like,
mess on the
literally, I was like,
table.
I need some popcorn. I
Listen,
was
that was
bent
a
over looking like, ooh, this sound good. Yes, I
yeah,
love
that was a
that.
mess on the table, a mess on the on the
Mess on
plates,
the
a mess
table.
on the everywhere.
Right.
I was like, I'm glad I put myself on mute, y'all. 'Cause y'all should have seen me over here hollering. I
I
she would
was
have
too.
never,
I said,
she
oh. And
never
then when
would have
you
got
said what
this.
the fuck, I said it at the same time. I'm like, that was just a dream.
Right.
Child, he said, "Let me stay
That
with
was
you."
a
I said,
damn good dream.
"Ooh,
Okay, that's what
baby,
she was saying.
listen,
That's what she said. Like, what
listen,
in the world am I doing dreaming about this man like this?
honey, baby. I don't
Mm.
know, but she better run, not walk."
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's slaying Mandingo. Hmm.
The
He was
control.
slanging. He was slanging the thing. Thing. Listen,
He
I
sure
am here
was.
for it.
Hmm.
So look, and that is mess on tomorrow.
Right.
That's on the table.
Mess on the table. So listen. Okay then. Listen, okay, we want to see what happened outside of the dream because the dream was that good.
Yeah,
Right. It definitely was.
yeah.
We can't wait to see what happens, with Mr. Colby.
Toby is a beautiful man. That's all I can say. In my head, he is such a beautiful man.
Hey.
In her head, too.
Okay, apparently.
In her head, too.
But
Okay.
I had so much fun writing this story. I mean, again, it was messy. I pull from again Nigerian rom coms. One of the shows I also pull from, I think it's called Young, Rich, and African. Oh my God, they're a hot mess on there.
Yes,
Really?
yes. I've seen
It's on
episode
Netflix.
of it. It's on Netflix.
I might
Mm-hmm.
have to watch it because I like messy people.
Uh-huh. And just to think about the opulence of, that show, I had to watch it to see, okay, aside from what I actually experienced myself in Kenya, when I say they live large and the visions that they
Mm-hmm.
show us on TV of Africa and
I've heard it's nothing in
people,
comparison.
honey, let me tell you something. Uganda is like going to Wakanda for real when it comes to
Really?
and just culture, rich culture. Kenya is, how would I describe Kenya? I would venture to say Kenya was more like being in the United States than being outside of the United States.
Oh
It's
wow.
Mm.
very culturally rich, but at the same time, they are luxurious over there, honey. It's really
Mm.
luxury. So you'll get into some of that towards the once Andrew starts embedding herself in Kenyan culture, you'll start seeing some of that come to life. But I just really enjoyed writing the story and these characters. I loved all of them. Yeah.
And I love
Yes.
that. And like once when you start reading books, you can tell. And like I said, I'm on the third chapter, and I can tell already that you enjoy writing just by how the way you wrote it, how they interact with each other, like they feed off each other. Like when they did that live together, I was just like, oh, that's so cute because like he knew when to pick up, she knew when to pick up, she knew he was uncomfortable, he didn't like to be in the spotlight, so she was able to feed off when he felt a little uncomfortable and she would jump in. So I definitely can tell, and I love when authors write like that. Like I know Untamed really enjoyed writing The View.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I know you did because I mean I could tell. I couldn't put it down. Like I literally was texting her every day, all day long. So let me tell you this. Now, why did you do this? Yep. Mm-hmm.
She-
Look, I
I
got
think
that on
that.
my PVR now, honey. I got
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate. Look, I think that's
AMC.
her low key way of trying to talk this part three up.
Yes, I'm trying to get folks to read it. I even put it on my threads. Y'all,
Okay.
I'm finally finished, and she done took me through all these type of emotions. I told her I'm ready to square up.
She's so.
I'm ready to square up, like for real. So
Oh my God! So,
it was
one
it's
thing I can do is make people fight, Lord Jesus.
yes, yes, definitely do. And then if I want to fight you in the book now, and now if I ever see somebody named Katrina with a C, I'm like, what was wrong with your mama? I'm gonna instantly not like her because her name begin with a C.
Mess on the Katrina.
Yeah, with the C, not spelled the right way.
Oh my
Ridiculous,
gosh.
ridiculous.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so I have one last question, and I said I'm going to start asking this question: why should people read Mess on the Mara?
Ooh, if you love angsty black romance, you will definitely get that. But also, once again, if you want to be transported, like literally sensory, the feel, the smell, the touch of a different culture, but with people that are just like us, I mean, that's the reason to pick up this book. If you want to experience Kenya, but you also want to experience it from a young African American woman from Atlanta's point of view, then this is the book for you.
I love
Mm-mm.
it. I love that.
I
You
want to have
told
a
me.
dream between the nutmeg and lemon pepper
And the
sauce. And
cardamom.
You know what I'm saying? Hmm. I want to be between the popcorn and the wine while I'm watching.
Okay,
Cause
go.
I like to have me some popcorn and some wine sometimes. I think that'd be my Olivia Pope nights.
Okay.
I
Yes, ma'am.
know
Hmm.
that's right.
Yes, ma'am.
Popcorn, wine, and a good show. I'm
That's
Olivia Popin.
I know
Yes.
that's right. Well, oh my goodness, Cher. We appreciate you so much for
Yes.
joining
Thank
us
you.
tonight and just hanging with us and chilling with us, talking with us about all of these different facets, your travels. Look, your low key movie crush with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. If he happens to hear this
Hmm.
podcast, please, please, please do us a favor and jump on some romance movies. Or
that's right.
we'll just continue to write you the books. It's okay.
If he wants to, kind of pick it up and say, "Hey, I can be this character," I love that.
You
I
hear
know
that,
that's right.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson? Pick up the book so you can be the character. Bali Blue by Cher Terais.
I
Absolutely.
know that's right. Listen, because we are here for it, and I definitely would sit down with my good wine and my good popcorn and watch it.
That's right.
Hmm.
I
As
am
long as
here
he slam you
for
on the mat and ask, "Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?"
it.
You smell what the rock is cooking up in jaw while
Right.
entering and making messy on tables.
I know that's right. Just lift that good eyebrow for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Well, please, please, please tell the listeners how they could connect with you, where they can purchase your books, and if there's any events that you have or anything special that you have going on that you want us to know about, please, this is your time to let us know.
Absolutely. So, Mess on the Mara, as well as Bali Blue and Tempest and Tulum, when it's actually published, will all be available, of course, on Amazon in ebook and paperback. You can also get it on Barnes and Noble and anywhere else you can buy ebooks from. Bali Blue is also an audiobook, so you can find it on Audible and probably about 20 other audiobook platforms too. I can't even name all of them, but pick one and you can find it there. I'm actually looking for voice narrators right now for Mess on the Mars, so I'm excited about that.
Ooh,
And while we talked about Wesley Shaban coming on next week, her production company actually did the audiobook for Bali Blue, so I worked with her.
Yay.
yes.
Oh my God,
Okay.
that was so fun. Oh my God, that was fun. Um,
Oh, I'm
and if
sorry to cut you off.
you
Can
go
I
ahead,
suggest somebody? And I'm about to slide in her DM and tell her.
okay.
Zakia's voice. She narrated two books. I know she did Rhythm of Love and The Rhyme of Love, The Rhyme of Reason by Love Belvin. She was Winter. And I just listened to her. She did I Want to Be Down with Ashley Nicole.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so she,
Yeah, I've
I'm
been
sure
following her since before she started narrating. Yeah.
yeah, I think she
Yeah.
would be a good Andra.
You know what? You might be right. She has the young voice to work.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
Hmm.
that. I gotta check her out. Absolutely.
Uh, awesome. Look at Lord. Look,
Yes.
I love it when a plan come together. Come on now.
Connections, right?
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
No, that's all right. Oh my goodness. Well, I am so excited, about this, and definitely I'm so glad to hear that it's on audiobook. So for all of our audiobook listeners and lovers, please make sure that you go on Audible and pick up Bali Blue on there. And then also, like she said, she is looking for a narrator. So all of our audio narrators who may be tuning in, go ahead and do that slide to DMs or reach out to Zakia.
Sliding. Hmm.
That's right.
Slide on over, slide on over. And
And look, you can find me most days on looking silly, doing something silly on Instagram or TikTok. Also on Facebook. Now I'm getting more comfortable with using Facebook. It's not my natural platform, but mostly on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and all under Cher Terais. So Cher underscore Terais. And I'm the only one. So
Yeah. Pinterest. be having me in a whole, like, I built my whole author page, like all
Yep.
of the little things that I wanted to do is on my Pinterest, and I like, whoo, Pinterest had me one day for 3 hours.
You can get lost.
Yep, you
Listen,
definitely can.
Hmm.
social media in general will have you lost for hours and hours and hours.
Hmm.
So you do have to, you do have to break away. But it be so, especially when you're doing work. Don't feel like work when you're doing what you love. So when you're
Oh,
doing
Right.
what you love, that can definitely get you carried away. But hey, some of the best ideas are born from like these platforms. So hey, I say it like this: as long as you put into some good use somewhere down the line,
There you go.
we not gonna fuss about 3 hours. We're not gonna fuss about it. But yes, absolutely. So make sure that you are following Cher Terais on Instagram, TikTok, and like she said, she's getting comfortable on Facebook. So, and make sure that you do pick up her books. And of course, like we said, I'm an audiobook fan, so audiobook listeners, yes, we are gonna be looking forward to book
Yeah, because I
number
sure
two
just
come to
looked it up.
audiobook.
Sure about to get it.
Yeah, I'm heading there as soon as we end. So
Yes.
as soon as we end, I'll be heading right on over there. So
love.
yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Miss Crystal, please tell the listeners where they can find you.
Alrighty, so you can find me on Instagram as Books and Soul One. And then I'm just going to say I usually just be on Instagram or Facebook. And on Facebook, I'm just Books and Soul. I barely be on Instagram. I barely be on Facebook, but I'm on there. I see what's going on. I like, I comment, I share. But that's where you can find me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You want to tell everybody your other handle or not?
Yes, yes, I'll tell it. So my other handle is Krista Lux Author at Gmail. No, Lord Jesus, I don't even know it. That's terrible. Oh my gosh. It's Krista Lux underscore the author. That's
That's right.
IG. Yes,
On
that's so
IG.
bad. I don't even know. That's because I don't like I really need to start remembering it. But yeah, it's Krista. So KRYSTALUXE underscore author. That's what it is. But look, let me make sure.
I'm gonna let you make sure.
Because I might be wrong.
I believe that's it. Though. I believe
Okay.
that third time was a charm. Though I believe,
Yeah, look, I hope so.
I believe it was. But
Yes, I definitely want to make sure that's right because now I'm about to introduce my world.
she is, and y'all don't have to be ready for this. She built an entire, like, for real world. So I can't wait for her to share it with you. Share her world into my Mary J. Blige
Yes,
with
I might
with
have to put that
y'all
as
because
my
it's
first
beautiful.
song.
Please
Yes,
do, please do. Like
yes.
that, it's a
Share my
beautiful.
world. Yeah, I can't sing, but
That's
I
a
will definitely share it.
Oh my God, that's
Let's
my favorite Mary J. Blige song too, y'all. I just want y'all to know that.
No,
I
my
love,
favorite one
I
by her, and
love
then I'm
it,
gonna stop talking, is Everything. That's my favorite song by her, Everything.
girl. I don't know. I have been in love with that song ever since it came out. I don't know why, but I just absolutely love and adore that song by Mary J. Blige. So that's so fitting. I can't wait. But yes, and you can actually find me at Author Untamed on all social media. But I always say, if you wanna get me to respond or interact with me, I'm mostly on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Um, I'm on all the other places, but I'm just not on there. So as active at all. But you can follow me if you like. The interaction is gonna be in those three places. And also I'll introduce my other pseudo. I'm also Aries Sky. So I
Yeah,
am on Yes, honey. Eric Scott's first book is released on October 24th.
I'm so
Love on the
excited.
Ninth Floor. I'm so excited for this. This is another one that you can tell that I really love writing characters. I love them
Mm.
all. But this one is a fun, flirty black romance, and I absolutely adore it. It's called Love on the Ninth Floor, and so I am on Instagram. First of all, I'm gonna say this about my Aries Sky page. So I'm gonna need y'all to like share the get through this algorithm because Instagram be hating on my Aries Sky page for real. Y'all, they keep flagging me. But I think they got a problem with me trying to sell my sex and snippets. Yeah, they don't be going against some community standards, but
That's what it is.
whatever.
Somebody mad. Somebody mad.
I
And
mean, they be getting big mad with me all the time. I
yeah,
promise you,
somebody mad.
I done had to appeal them like 4 or 5 times on Aries Sky page. Well, I keep winning too, but
Ah,
but
how she keep winning.
I
That's what you
keep
say.
winning. I keep winning. But I am on Instagram at Aries Sky underscore. And I'm on Facebook and TikTok as at author Aries Sky. So definitely follow me there, especially on TikTok. TikTok don't be hating on me. So y'all follow me on Instagram and push it through. But definitely follow me on TikTok because TikTok don't be hating. And on Facebook too. Um so yeah, but I'm not on there quite as much, but definitely I am definitely on Instagram and TikTok under that pseudo. So follow me there. And like I said again, all things at Author Untamed, I am there as well. And please make sure that you are following the Get Caught Up podcast on Instagram at Get Caught Up Podcast and join our Facebook group, Get Caught Up Author Podcast. We share there. As well. So just to have an extra place for us to actually chit chat and get to know our readers and stuff like that. I love the Facebook group and I love the communication and the ability to be able to just kind of connect with readers there. So please make sure that you join on that particular group in that particular page. We appreciate you so much. Again, if you need literary services, visit untamedpublishing.net. And like I said again, you can fill out the contact us page for author interviews starting in 2024. So we appreciate you so guys so much for that.
We really do.
And yes, because we absolutely do not take it for granted. Like this podcast, I tell everybody, this podcasting is a marathon, and so
Yes, it
we do it
is.
for the absolute love of the community, and so we love that you guys will continue to rock with us there. Please make sure that you subscribe or follow our podcast on Anchor.fm or well, Anchor FM, or also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Audible, or Amazon Music or Spotify. You can definitely find a Get Caught Up podcast on any of those. Listen, subscribe, follow, whatever have you. But just the support of you guys on those platforms means the absolute world to us. And please stay tuned on August the 30th at 9 p.m. Gracing the podcast will be none other than our narrator of the month, Wesley Siobhan, the gotist of audio narration.
The
So
go test.
please,
Hmm.
please join us. She will be in the building, and we are so excited to have her on. Of course, we had Jacoby in June, and now we got a Wednesday with Wesley, and that will be on Wednesday, August the 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please show her the same love y'all showed Jacoby because y'all shut the internet down. Like it was, people couldn't get on the doggone link. So please show up for y'all. Showed up for the king, so show up for the queen as well. And Wesley's besties will be there. We'll have our guest host Lisette Bass, who is one of the administrators for Wesley's besties, will also be on the show as a guest host as well. So we are going to have fun, just like we had fun with the diamonds. We're gonna have fun with the besties and with Miss Wesley. We cannot wait. But again, Miss Cher, thank you so much for joining us and
Yes, thank
just
you.
and blessing us with that cold sniffing. Good Lord.
Woo! That needed some water.
Well, look, I certainly appreciate the Oprah and Gail of podcasting
Oh,
having
thank
me.
you.
I had a
Thank
lot of fun.
you.
Thank y'all so much for having me on.
You
You
are
ever so
welcome.
I'm still gonna slide in the DM when it get to that part and be like, "Oh, you nasty!" Like, cause we gonna really get more of the full effect. So I'm gonna be like, "Oh, okay. Now I see why she having that dream." Mm-hmm.
Listen, and on top of that, look, we gotta give you one time for me, Chef, for recognizing Gail for the Oprah and Gail, because I sure forgot to mention that.
Yes.
I appreciate you even saying it. I brought about Aubrey and I forgot to bring about what Miss Julia said. Look, I tell you, we got so many names going on here with Miss Ronan, with Julie, with Aubrey. I'm like, we got so much going on here, but I appreciate all the love because
Love.
Yes, I
it
do
is
too.
definitely, we don't take it for granted. We don't take it lightly. We appreciate all of these nicknames that have been graced upon us. We embrace them all. So thank
Right.
you so
Y'all
much.
keep doing what y'all do. We love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And look,
you. Yes, I
you
love it.
keep writing some more messy Mara.
Right. I need more.
Let's go. It's on the way. It's on the way.
That's
Yes.
right. Listen, I'm ready to go to Toulouse.
Oh, I can give you a funny story for Mexico.
Oh,
What,
do
2 years
share.
ago? Yeah, so okay, I'm gonna share this story and I don't tell everybody this. But when I go out of country on my birthday, I like partake a lot. Like I drink like I don't even care. So this one year, my friend decided it's usually just me and her, but I went with my other friend and her husband. So when we was walking around the resort is right after COVID. So they would not speak to us. They would only speak to him. And we was known as Roger and the girls. And it was just the cutest thing in the world. But my friend decided she wanted to go off the resort to go to Walmart. Now we in the pool all day, she not. We go to Walmart. So we're in our bathing suits, and like by then I was drunk because I didn't realize that I was in the pool with my sunglasses on. I was just wondering why it was so dark, and they was like, "You're swimming with your sunglasses." I mean, I was lit by then. It was on my birthday. So we leave. We go to Walmart, and the guy wanted cash. None of us had cash on us. So my friend and her husband go inside the Walmart. She gets sick, and they never came back out the Walmart because she in the bathroom sick. So the guy was like, "So you gotta," he was telling her that she had to go to the bank. So I understand what they say in Spanish. She didn't. So she was looking at me. So I was telling her what he was saying. So I said, "Okay, I'm coming." And he said, "No, no, you wet my seat." So because I was wet. So his whole front seat was wet because of me. So she said he takes her to the bank. The line was long. He took her somewhere else. That was fine. They came back. So she said she was standing there calling me for like 10 minutes and she was scared because I wouldn't wake up. I had fell asleep on a bench in front of the Walmart.
Oh no.
Oh God.
So she said, when I finally woke up, she was like, "Girl, you scared me. I thought something was wrong with you." She said, I looked up at her and said, "I peed." She looked down on the ground and it was just a trail of pee. She said, "How much did you?" I had been drinking since 9 o'clock in the morning. By the time we went to Walmart, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was so drunk. It didn't make
Oh
any.
my.
I've never been that drunk before.
Oh
Then we
my
go inside the
God.
Walmart. She go to the ATM to get money. So their money is different. So it's like she's taking out like 9,000. It said 9,000. So I'm yelling, "Why do you need all that money? They're gonna rob us." She was like, "Shut up." She said, "I have never seen you act like this before." And it was just the funniest thing. So like later on that night, we woke. I went back to the room, passed out. She woke up. She said, "I'm really disappointed in you. You do not know how to act when you're drunk."
Listen, you was a
And I'm
mess
like, "Well,
in
why would you let me
Mexico.
drink that much?" But yeah, she said I
Look,
scared her so bad because it took her a while before I answered her.
you was a mess in Mexico.
Yes, I was. I definitely was. I'm always a mess in Mexico. Yeah, she said you woke up and said you peed. I'm like, well, hey, yeah,
Oh my God. So
that was
listen.
like that was my 45th birthday.
Oh my God. You was a
Yeah.
Memorable.
mess in Mexico. Lord have mercy.
Hmm.
So, but listen, she take from that story what you will to put into new.
I will let you get the pre-read if I add it.
Yes, if you had it. Be like, yeah, remember that time we was in Tulum?
What
But
time you was in
every
Tulum?
year for my birthday in Mexico, I've had a great, oh my gosh, I've had a great birthday out of the country. I've done hangovers. Yeah, throwing up in the water on the boat. Yeah, it was a
Oh my
lot.
God!
Oh my
Every
Listen,
God.
time.
you gonna be a hangover part six
Oh yeah, because I'm
for
going to
the movie.
Barcelona this year.
The
So
movie
yeah,
hangover part six.
yeah,
So
I'm going to Barcelona this year. But I always go with her because she doesn't drink, so she makes sure like she'll take care of me. She won't let me get too crazy. But yeah, she said that's the worst I've ever seen you, and I was
oh
like,
my
sorry.
God.
But I'm glad I
Oh
didn't
my
do
God.
too much because it could have got worse.
Listen, look, she said that was enough. You put her through
Yeah.
enough that day. So,
Mhm. She was like, I was so disappointed in you.
oh my God.
Oh,
She said
like
that
a
was
parent scolding
enough.
their child. So yeah,
Right.
I like to have a good time.
Well, look, I'm gonna run it back to Bali this year with my sisters. My sister's turning 50, so she was like, "You been to Bali? We going, and you gonna take us around?" And I'm like, "All right."
All
So I have.
right.
It's
Oh,
about to be a whole hangover part six.
Oh,
oh Lord, have mercy.
see, I would have had so much fun and been with all the smoke, all the mess. Loved it.
Listen, now she gonna have another book called The
Well,
Barista in Bali.
Bali too,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta look, you gotta throw that in there somewhere.
it's gotta be in there somewhere. Yep.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
That's what I'm
goodness.
talking about. Because hangover to me is like the funniest thing in the world. And it's like, I want to do that. I
Yes.
want to do
Listen.
that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, ladies, it has been so much fun. I cannot wait until the next book, and definitely will be heading over as soon as we get off to go over to your audio book selection
Yes.
and go ahead and download my copy. So I will
Appreciate y'all
definitely be
so
doing it.
much.
You are so welcome. So welcome. And thank you so much for joining us. And of course, to the listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, for joining us week after week and supporting the authors because that's what it's all about. And we just continue to bring you the content that you guys want and need. And if you do have any suggestions or you have any persons that you want us to bring on, don't feel free. Hit us up. That's what we're here for. We appreciate
Yes.
you guys so, so much. And again, of course, as always, much love to all of our sponsors. But until next time, don't forget to get caught up. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.